Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, episode 4 of Who Should You Choose, the video series where I go through all the prior videos, questions, and comments and help you with your hut lineup decisions. If you guys have not been subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe with notifications on for your best chance to get your question answered. All you've got to do is leave a comment and I go through and spend about 20 minutes answering as many questions as I can. Also, guys, you will see a weird timer and whatnot on the screen. I am still doing a subathon. I have been live for 48 hours straight on Twitch. And it looks like I've got a little bit longer to go, so if you're watching it at the launch day of this video, make sure you come check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/nosleeves12, and that is also why I look like I do not have any energy. All right, guys, let's get into the questions for... let's get to the first question. Introvert says, ordered NHL through PSN, only got early access. Where's the rest of your pre-order content? Comes out Friday, my dude. You get all your content. You get all your pre-order stuff on Friday. Joshua Taylor says, should I sell tradable X Factors? Some of them, yes. If they are not ones that I would deem valuable, go to my Discord. Link is down below. On the left-hand side, you'll see a place that says X Factors. At the top of that chat, you will see a pinned message, and that has my document where I tell you which X Factors are worth investing in. If they are not worth investing in, sell the X Factor. As well, you can just check out my video where I go through all of that anyways. Is the X Factor Rantanen good? He is good if you are someone that dominates time on attack. If you are not someone who dominates time on attack, and what I mean by that is like you don't usually TOA your opponent by like 2 or 3 minutes, then I would not take Rantanen, as you are someone who plays off the rush. Cameron Butler says, do you know if the X Factor carry price is in the pre-order choice packs or if we have to pull him to have a chance to get him? I think it's Fleury and Hellebuck are the goaltender options in the choice pack, but Speedy Gaming says don't get a goalie to do absolutely nothing. I would have to agree. Your defense is your best goaltender. Jesse Dumignil, yo, Sleeves, what's your opinion on the Couturier X Factor? I have an X Factor pack where my best option is either him or Marner, but I'm a Habs fan. I don't want Marner. See, that I respect. Also, DeBrincat, Gensel, and Marchand in that pack. Ugh, yikes. I don't think Couturier is worth investing in at all. I think that he is not worth the cost that you've got to put in. Out of all of those options, I probably would have gotten DeBrincat, but he's such a liability in his own zone that it's tough. All of those are really rough options, so I apologize for that, my man. So I certainly take Matthews X Factor, but I'm not sure about the other one, Kane or Barzal. Yes, correct. I would go with Kane, as he would be the one to go with. Dangle says, hey, Sleeves, I have X Factor, Stammer, Marchand, both maxed up, and I have a huge Ranger fan. I want Fox. Who else should I take with the choice pack? I have Stammer and Marchand both maxed up, and I'm a huge Ranger fan. I want Fox. Who else should I take in the choice pack? You want to take Matthews. Aaron Hood says, hello again. How's your morning been? It's been all right, dude. Been loving the subathon. I appreciate that. Oh, okay. I'm not free to play, geez. Chat destroyed me. Oh, was that the guy? Was that the guy from the last one where he's like, "I'm free to play except for the $65 I spent"? Like, if that was the same guy, that was a great dude. Well, way to own up there. Damien Laravier, yo, hello. I just packed the Brad Marchand base card, untradeable, unfortunate. And I'm asking myself, I should take him in the X Factor pre-order pack. You shouldn't. I was going to pick Kopitar and Carlson, but I'm not sure now. Please help. I'm assuming you're actually. I would not take Carlson or Kopitar. I would take Matthews, my man. Carlson is a good pick, though. If you don't want Matthews, go Barzal. Hey, Slaves, will the price of defense go up? I already have base Hedman and Hamilton, and I spent 25 combined for both. It seems like the forwards are insanely expensive this year, and I don't know how much to spend on the cards. Should I just save up for the X Factors? Here's the lineup. Pasternak, Stamkos, Hall, Ovi, Scheifele, Ehlers, Pavelski, Pettersson, Kuznetsov. Team of the week pool: Yarvi, Monahan, and Couture. Hedman, Petro, Hamilton, Vatanen, Foxy. You have a really good like budget defense. I actually like a lot of those. Will the price of defense go up? The reason why defensemen early on are not expensive is because there's not very many that are good. So there's very few that are big, have decent speed around the high 80s, low 90s, and a good shot. Usually what gets hit hardest to make the overalls for defensemen lower because they have to boost their defensive stats because they're on defense is their shot takes a big hit. So you'll see good skating defensemen that have really bad shots, and maybe they're smaller, so it's very hard to find that fit all three. That's why you don't see a lot of expensive defensemen. There just isn't very many good cards. So in all honesty, you have all of the cheap defensemen that I would go after. Maybe X Factor Carlson, or maybe after the event gets released, he should keep dropping. The 85 Team of the Week Carlson should drop if he gets to around 20K. I would just buy that card. Don't worry about his X Factor. The 85 is fine. Barky Miller says, hey, man, love the vids. Keep up the good stuff. Thank you, my man. Stephen Lord says, hey, yo, I feel dumb asking, how do I play the game? But here we go. What are we supposed to do this year? Last year was all about saving cards for Lemieux and Gretzky. What do we do this year? I did my X Factor set for the month, but now what? Without the goal of Gretzky and Lemieux, I'm not sure what I should be doing to obtain better players that will stay on my team long term. Thanks, slaves. All right, this is actually a pretty good question, and it's actually insanely tough to answer. You want to be trying to get as many X Factors as you can. You really want to be... the chase is McDavid, McKinnon, Pasternak, Panarin, and probably Matthews and Kucherov. Once you have a couple of those guys, you don't want to invest in them all, because if you invest in them all, it's going to cost you, a couple 100,000 coins every single time they get an upgrade. But you want like 2, maybe 3. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've done the set. You've already done this set, the 30-day cooldown set. You want to go do the Pro-Am in World of Chell. If you do all of the Pro-Am challenges, it takes like 4 or 5 hours. It's mind-numbingly boring. You get a free X Factor choice pack there. So that would be a good option. Outside of that, just keep improving your team. Look at the cards that you like and see if you can improve them. If you have an X Factor card, for example, and play your rivals, play your squad battles, all of that, my man. There isn't really high-end cards that are like the you have to go chase, which is kind of nice because that means everyone doesn't have the same team this year. There's no icon sets yet, so you can't really re-roll them. So icons are super rare. Speedy Gaming says, I have Carlson, Makar, both untradeable, and an untradeable Seth Jones base card. Should I get X Factor Seth or X Factor player or offensive X Factor player? Okay, I get this a lot, guys. If you have the base card for Seth Jones, you're really not saving yourself any money. It's not like if you have base card Seth Jones, like, wow, you're saving yourself, I think it's like 6,500 coins. Don't worry about that at all. However, Seth Jones is an incredible card and will get a huge upgrade, so I think he would be worth it. So I would try and get Seth Jones X Factor, yes, but Barzal on offense is pretty cheap that you'd want to go after for sure. Kaprizov is like a cheaper Barzal, but I'm not huge on that. I would look at like Pasternak and Panarin's base cards. Those are really cheap normal cards right now. Herman McFuzz. I got Rod Brindamore in a loyalty pack. As a free-to-play player, I don't know what to do with him to max his value. Also wondering who I should take in the X Factor pre-order pack. This is my team. Kuznetsov, Brindamore, Kapanen, Gurianov, Draisaitl, Puljujarvi, Kessel, Lowry, Forsberg, Zora, McLeod, Zucker, Hedman, Myers, Ekholm, Petrie, Gardner, Burns. Okay, you need to sell Brindamore kind of like ASAP. I would, because, again, once icon sets come out, these icons will drop dramatically in price, and they're not worth the amount of coins that they will go for. People are buying them for dumb, stupid money. I would just put him up for, 150. If he doesn't sell, put him up for 125. If he doesn't sell, go to 99. If he doesn't sell at 99, just chill. Mr. Mercury, I don't know. So my team is decent. Line 1 is Max X Factor to Brinket, Taves, Kubalik. I'm seeing a theme here. Wanted to have an all Hawks team, so I pulled X Factor Matthews, Pasta, Carlson, and Pedersen, all untradeable. By Friday, I'll have 7 X Factor cards working towards Hjalmarsson, but with all my non-Hawks, I don't know what to do now. Sorry if this was a cluster to read. Dude, if you want to build a Hawks team, please go do that. It's Hockey Ultimate Team. Always use your favorite cards and favorite team. However, if you don't want to waste those cards you got, you want to work on upgrading Pasta first, then Carlson, and then Matthews. Pedersen, I would not invest in. He's not worth the upgrade, in my opinion. I think there's better cards there. Then we've got Ian Hardy, my dude. Hey, Sleeves, love the content as always. Welcome back for NHL 22. Just bought a house. Let's go, dude. So not as much, but I saw Panarin isn't. Just bought a house, so not on as much, but I saw Panarin isn't in the pre-order choice pack. Big Rangers fan, so how do I get him? Pack the 74 Makar, my starter pack. That's huge. Keep up the good work, brother. So the way that you can do it is you can do the X Factor trade-in sets. If you do the trade-in set, that'll give you a shot at Panarin. The other option is to go and do the Pro-Am. If you go watch my video, I'll explain how to get a free X Factor. That'll show you how to do the Pro-Am, and that'll give you another shot at the X Factor. Outside of that, you're going to have to pony up once they go in the auction house, which I don't recommend. I would just try and do the Pro-Am one first, see if you get them there. Shixer says, hey, Sleeves, your NHL 22 content has been great so far. Thank you, my man. I'm wondering who I should pick for my X Factor pack and who are some cheap righties I can pick up for cheap. Here's the squadron right now. DeBrincat, Matthews, Rantanen. Wait, who does he want? I'm wondering who I should pick up for my X Factor pack and who are some cheap righties I can pick up. DeBrincat, Matthews, Rantanen, Roslovic, Sagan, Hoffman, Konechny, Hischier, Kuznetsov, Suzuki. Okay, in your starter pack, 100% you can take Barzal. After Barzal, you want to take... That would push DeBrincat down. You want another... move Hoffman, or move Kuznetsov above Hoffman. And who's your other righties? You have Jones and Makar already, so Carlson probably isn't the play. Go Kane, man. Go Kane and get a lefty. There you go, dude. Jackson, love these videos. Keep it up. Thank you, my man. Alexander Sebastiani, what are the best synergies to have this year? So, I don't want you guys to, whenever I get asked about synergies, I don't want you guys to be like, okay, these are the synergies I need to cram into my team so that you're building your team around synergies. It's not like that anymore. There's no team-based synergies anymore. So what you want to do is acquire your best cards, your first liners, your first pairing defensemen, and then go from there. What helps them? So in my opinion, if we're just talking straight up in a vacuum, what are the best synergies? Anyone that has a speed synergy, distributor, and fly the zone. The reason why it's important is because now the developers have made complementary synergies on most cards. So if a card has distributor or fly the zone, it's probably because his speed is really rough. So you want to make sure you activate that. Outside of that, I really like Thief. I think that stick checking and defensive awareness is two of the most important defensive attributes that are in the game, and it adds +1 to slap shot power, which is like a nice little whatever, and he has +5 to face offs, even though that isn't super important. But if you have a centerman like that, then that's very good. Thief is a really good one. I also like Light the Lamp for wingers. It helps with their wrist shot and tips in front of the net, which is good. And then again, it's just all whatever helps the team that you have, but don't go out and ram a bunch of crappy cards that have a certain synergy to activate synergies on like third or fourth liners. I see a lot of people doing that. They'll be like, oh man, I fill my fourth liners with synergy plugs for guys that are on my third line that don't see the ice at all. That's just going to make your team worse. James R says, hey Sleeves, should I finish the World of Chell challenges before I get my pre-order bonus? I'm free to play. Also wondering, what are your thoughts on my lineup? Yes, you should finish your World of Chell challenges before... Yes, you 100% should do that. Yes. Team of the Week, Puljujarvi, Horvat, Kaprizov, or Kaprizov, sorry. If there's probably going to be someone in the comments that's like, Sleeves, it's actually Kaprizov. Kapanen, O'Reilly, Nugent Hopkins, Caulfield, Monahan, Buchnevich, Roslovic. I think I say Roslovic wrong too, but I really don't care, guys. Godin and Henrique. Okay. Parayko, McDonough, Ristolainen, Pelech, Murphy, Heiskanen. This is a real big starter team. Okay. Okay, you want to hope for McDavid, McKinnon, any of the big boys from the World of Chell challenges. After that, if you don't get... You want to take Matthews and Barzal for sure in your starter pack for sure. And then on defense, grab Quinn Hughes, as well as on forward, grab Kasperi Kapanen. Or Team of the Week, Oliver Bjorkstrand. Kyle Hornrein says, hey, Sleeves, what should I do with my untradeable base Matthews? I just got it the standard edition, so I don't get the X Factor packs. Should I try and buy the X Factor Matthews if on the auction? No. Okay, what you should do is use base Austin Matthews on your team because he is still a good card. And then you need to go to World of Chell. You go to Pro-Am, and you need to do all the Pro-Am challenges, and you need to pray so that you get Matthews in that pack. That is what you need to do. Mr. Monotone Man. I respect it. I got Cooch and Pasta. In my X Factor choice of 5, I noticed Pasta has better skating stats, but you've been preaching Kucherov a lot. So Kucherov, I find there is a lot fewer high-end lefty wingers in NHL 22. There is a lot of righty-lefty wingers, like a lot. Like Barzal, Pasta, Panarin, and Kaprizov. Like, there's a ton. So I would definitely go Kucherov. And Kucherov has been really fun to play with. Hockey Professor, hello, love the content. You talk a lot about the pre-order X Factor pack and that it's going to be the same 25 players for everyone. I haven't seen any info that states that, so out of curiosity, where did you get that information? I mean, it's 50 X Factor players. Couldn't it still be 25 randoms in every unique pack? Still hoping I get McDavid. I am an EA game changer, so I work closely with the developers of the game. I asked them, and we got our pack. All the game changers got ours early, and it is confirmed that it is the same pack. If it wasn't, that'd be sick. Because someone would get McDavid or something. Brad White says, I got base Couturier as my top center right now. Would you recommend taking his X Factor? No, I would get rid of the base Couturier right now, and I would look to get a better centerman. That's kind of an a-hole answer. Someone that you would want to look for... God, there's not a lot of good non-X Factor centermen right now. There just isn't. Like base Kucherov or Claude Giroux. I think I like Claude Giroux more than I like Couturier. Try that. Try that. Come back to me tomorrow. Give me some options. Be like, hey, Sleeves, these are my options at center I can go get for this price range, and I'll see if I can find something for you. Apollo Gaming. I hope I picked the right one here. In the trade gold players for X Factor per choice pack, I picked Makar, but I had this pack. I had Kucherov, Hedman, Makar, Flower, and Aho. Did I choose correctly? I probably want to went Kucherov because it'll be much more difficult. It's just like pulling like high overalls. So it's easier to pull an 85 than it is to pull an 87. So Kucherov starts higher. It's much harder to pull his X Factor than it is Makar's because he is the lowest rating X Factor. His starting is 874. You always want to go the higher ones, unless it's like Marchand, who's awful, or one of those guys. But like Kucherov, Panarin, Pasternak, Matthews, McDavid, McKinnon, those ones, like take those over anyone else before. And then there's like a bunch of other ones before. But Makar is still a good option. He's a very, very good defenseman. Ava for life. To anyone, I do not recommend HUD at all. Oh, Christ, this is going to be great. Okay, buckle up. To anyone, I do not recommend HUD at all. It's so garbage of a game mode, and unfortunately, if you don't buy your team, you won't win. I myself have 4 or 5 very good players and 2 X Factors and am very, very good at the game. However, it's just such an unbalanced mode. Every time I faced, I had full rosters of fast, high overall cards, and no matter how good you are, it's damn near impossible to keep up with them. I've ran into people doing the same glitch goals from behind the net and many others. EA is honestly such a disappointment every year. My advice is to avoid HUD at all costs because it is an unbalanced money grab. Okay, how much did you lose by before you lost or before you wrote this comment? All right. This is the best gameplay that we've had since probably NHL 14. It is very simulation-based. It does not have cheap glitch goals. The goals that you score in NHL 22... the ones that you were referring to more than likely are the ones where you circle behind the net and you wrap around out in front. Now, how would one stop a goal like that? I don't know, stop you from actually walking around the net. Don't chase. Maybe play a little bit more passive. But I don't think that it's, I apologize you have had a less than enjoyable experience in Hockey Ultimate Team for NHL 20, but I gotta politely disagree here. I think it's a very good mode. The only problem is the ceiling is that it's on 4 separate consoles, and it's gonna be tough to find a game, and then all of the stupid little server problems that EA has had. I think the gameplay is actually phenomenal. And hey, if you agree with it, or don't agree with it, let me know in the comments section. I know maybe I'm wrong, but I would highly disagree with what you're saying here. I think that you can't just force cross creases anymore like you could in NHL 21. Everything gets intercepted, and just disagree. I apologize. I hope you find a better game. I have a feeling you'll be in my comment in my next video, though. Jordan Buhat, my man! Ayo, dude. Bachvis has been super fast for me. Kylington has been even faster. The speed isn't crazy high, but maybe because his weight is low, his speed is higher. Miller has also been really solid fourth liner. Line A has been freaking amazing. Out of the dekes and driving to the net, he's been awesome. Also, wraparound going far post or OP early on. That is kind of like the go-to goal. Again, you can defend it. Haven't seen your squad battle tips yet, but that's an easier goal I've found on these early goalies. So in the squad battle video, you will see that is probably the one you want to go for. And early on online, if you get someone who chases around behind the net to pull their defenseman out of position to leave the front of the net wide open, yes, hitting them with the backhand is probably the way to go. Ace Sleeves, best HUT channel by a mile. I'm a competitive HUT player just outside D1 last year, but also a huge Wings fan. I know for our icon pack, Ray Ferraro was easily the best pick, but I sort of want Larionov. However, I also don't want to be at a huge disadvantage. Is the fall from Larionov Ferraro way too much? I am truly torn. Dude, always take the cards that you want, man. Don't listen to me unless you want the advantage. Is it a much bigger disadvantage to have Larionov than Ferraro? Yeah, it's pretty noticeable, my man. But these cards are probably going to be replaced on your team. The reason why Ferraro is so good is that his stats are good enough to be used now and be very good, but also because these upgrade every single month by +1, his speed is high enough to stay relevant longer. That is why Ray Ferraro, in my opinion, is the best option. Larionov also plays a position where you really want bigger defensemen in the neutral, or bigger centermen in the defensive zone, because again, Larionov's a lot smaller and he can't really bump people off the puck, and that's kind of where it's super important. So he's just kind of a winger build but plays center, which is why I'm not a huge fan. But hey, I would take Larionov in your situation because you like him. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Who Should You Choose? Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Let me know your questions, and I will answer them on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like. I do appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.